One.
We're live.
Good
Welcome,
life.
everybody. Hi. This is a surprise live session with a wish link featuring Virginie and Benoit and me. We're all going to introduce ourselves. So, Virginie, do you want to start?
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm based in Paris, France, and I started a wish link 4 years ago in order to connect everyone into this quantum field. And that's how we all connect as emotional healer and guide, spiritual guides, and let's see where the flow is going to come as more introduction in the future.
Oh, I guess it's my turn. And hello, everyone. My name is Benoit. Benoit LeChavellier. It's a French thing. And I am here in Oakland, California, across the bay from San Francisco. And I'm happy to be joining our team on our now regular meetings. And for the first time, we go live, so it's really exciting. And I'm, I'd say...
we're calling these quantum conversations, right? Mm-hmm. These are quantum conversations. So, I mean, that really I think it goes into what we're searching for is depth. We're going inside, we're going inward on these conversations. And, today is a really juicy topic. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rainey. And we are talking today about trust and about trusting that move from 3D to 5D and what sorts of things we can incorporate into our own personal lives to help with that ascension. And so, given that we're all spiritual healers and coaches, we figured we would kind of provide everyone with a little bit of variety on our viewpoints and given our international perspectives. And you guys have all the beautiful accents, so I'll represent the lame American accent here.
I'd like to also point out what is quantum conversation for the people who do not know what they are. It's basically channeled conscious conversation. So it's whatever is going to come through without, as much as possible, the ego mind. I.e., if our level of consciousness is here, we're allowed to have that much ego and it's still channeled with that level of consciousness. And the more we're going to heal, the more we're going to remove this ego, the more we're going to have a pure channel, and the more our level of consciousness is going to raise, well, you got it.
Right. Yeah.
and
who cares?
And it's going to basically rise. Help me, Rainey, here.
Raise. You're gonna raise.
To raise our frequencies. So everything is related into this quantum, and we're getting some information depending on our level of consciousness. So as much as possible without the mind tapping, and if we can feel the mind tapping at one point, we will try to express it and to share with you with all our vulnerabilities.
Well, and I kind of think what we're doing is important in that we're speaking our truth. We're coming out and we're speaking our truth and we're sharing it with others. And we're doing it not because, we have some great wisdom to impart on anyone. It's really just to encourage and inspire others to find the truth within themselves and to also speak that. And to also have these conversations and to talk about these things that from a metaphysical perspective are really important.
And we're not alone. Right. We're not alone in that way that quite often we start that path very, very lonely. And we are afraid of saying this and that, or that we're feeling this or that. And to be able to share it, and that's why we're joining together, and to be able to share also our vulnerability and our experiences into that field. It's like this path is not an easy path. So to share it with someone else, it's great. It's fabulous. And we get some keys by sharing it. And we understand, and we put things alive, and we bring some awareness and consciousness to everything that is.
I wanted to share how Rainey and I first met, because I believe that this is very related to this 5D communication. That's I'd say that sharing our story, without getting into long details, just the highlights of it is that we were called by dolphins.
Wait. And let's just say, we're remembering this on World Water Day.
On World Water Day, yes.
Yes, so there's some significance here. Okay, continue.
Yes,
continue.
Rainey and I got to meet because we were called by dolphins. How it all happened, it's a sequence of events, and literally it's a friend of ours who had a dream from the dolphins, and our friend called us and invited us to go swim with dolphins with her, and then we got all to meet. And this all happened in 5D. There was no real phone calls from the dolphins, and we all ended up swimming with the dolphins.
We have a photograph of us all around Joan Ocean's table with shells, and we're like, we've got a call from the dolphins on the shell phone. We were having
That's true.
Amazing. But what's amazing about the dolphins is it's like no matter where you are, they're just able to read you energetically, And I was just listening to a Lisa Denning video from that trip this morning because I was like, oh, what should I post from World Water Day? And it's like, you can hear them doing all of the sonar on us. They're actually restructuring our vibrations so that we can interact with them, basically so that they prepare us for 5D. Essentially, they're like, okay, we'll get them ready. All right, now we can engage with them. And it's like that was our experience. That's right, Benoit. Like we were able to have a full 5D experience, right smack dab in the middle of our 3D world. And it was like, it was like a connection home.
I heard that the dolphins are getting closer to the shores for the last, especially 3-4 years, and to help us to raise our frequencies because they're going to pass on messages through telepathy, through their frequency and their sonars. They can pass to the human beings some messages, and that's why they get
holographic messages. They go even beyond just basic voice messages. It's really the beauty of the dolphin is they really communicate in holographic messages. It's almost like the remote viewing experience that humans can experience, where we get to not just hear, we get to feel as well, and even see if we're open to it. So, and all this comes with the beautiful example of the dolphin that, bringing it to sound is that it's a reminder that everything is just frequency, just vibration. If we move into the energy world, then we're just vibrations. And the dolphin's power is how to control they can control the sound. And us human beings, we're just abusing the sound that comes out of our voice, not realizing that this is our creative power that controls the vibrations that create our reality. And if only people would stop judging and use that judgment to make decisions in their life. But anyway, that's another subject.
Well, it's leading to trust because judgment is a lot of people use judgment believing that the judgment will help them trusting or having more trust in this or that. But at the end, it's the other way around. By judging, you're kind of losing your balance. That's what's going through. I'm not sure I understand fully what I'm saying, but
like if somebody is judgmental, that makes them feel like more grounded or something.
Yeah, but it's an illusion.
It is an illusion, yeah.
Okay, it's a complete illusion. So basically, you're going to judge someone saying, "Oh, I've got my point of view. I'm very grounded. I'm very, aligned and everything." But that's a complete illusion because being aligned is it's being open to what is. It's not at all being into some sort of one thought and only one thought. It's being
attachment.
Yeah, it's just surrender to what is. And when you align, you surrender to everything.
Right. That's right.
Judgment, yeah, it's
attachment to nothing.
I never saw it that way, but it's true that the judgment is actually completely the opposite of trust.
And fear. So it's very connected to fear, right?
Yes.
Because you start judging, someone will start judging out of fear. Right?
So essentially having an inner trust in yourself will help prevent that sort of like judgment of others. Like it's just a fear of trusting yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, because if you trust yourself, you're going to have people saying things and they have the right to have their own reality, their own truth. And because we're not yet into this, I mean, what dimension is the absolute truth or the universal truth is 9th or 10th, I think, dimension. So it's not even like on the 5th dimension, it's like some higher dimension of what I believe. Ninth dimension.
It's hard to find out exactly how many dimensions there are. I like to look at the 9th dimension as the one that brings everything together. And after that, I haven't yet figured it out. But 9th dimension is the dimension of the dragons. The dragons that have come to work with the cetaceans to raise the frequency for humanity to ascend to the 5D, basically, to get the field ready for the new human to be born. Basically.
Like dragons, whales, and dolphins are all higher dimensional beings. And, you know, they are like, that's our connection to the higher realms. And like, well, swimming with the dolphins and the whales is totally, absolutely like you are swimming in the 5th dimension. Like you have gone through a portal and you're in another world. That's the only way I can describe it. It's
apparently swan are also divine creature. Because I just did a workshop, yin yoga workshop onto spring.
Oh,
and trust.
So beautiful.
Some of the asana was the swan. And then I did some search about the swan. And it's a divine creature also, because it can, you know, it flows. And that leads to the 3D, 5D, how you're going to flow and follow your own flow. And by trusting yourself, you can navigate between the 3D, 5D, and going back and forth. And to get elevation, you can observe the experience through a different prism. And it's not going, okay, I'm stepping back. It's, you know, really, I'm stepping up.
But the whole reason that we even play in between 3 and 5D is because our intention is to bring the entire planet to this higher realm. You know, we're the bridges. We are the physical bridges between 3D and 5D. And that's why it's so important for us to focus on the water that we drink, focus on the music that surrounds us, you know, the beauty that's around us, all of the things that can raise our frequency. You know, if we were lucky enough to live in Hawaii and swim with the dolphins and the whales every day, I mean, like, if you spend time with Joan Ocean, and I know I just adore her and love her, but you can tell she's like, I mean, she is like an eternally youthful age, you know, no matter what her real age is, because she's just so connected with those dolphins and that salt water, and just she's in the 5th dimension completely. Yes. So it's really an inspiration.
Joan definitely is. I'd say something that. What do you say, Virginie?
Well, she's navigating all the time because she's still on Earth. She's still into this spontaneous body, terrestrial body. So she must be navigating very easily like that, whether sometime we still struggle into going, you know, for, okay, I don't like
definitely is. It definitely is. I believe she goes regularly in the Andromeda ship, medical ship that it's above her place on the island, Sky High.
That was powerful. Tell about that. Like, will you tell anybody who's watching about that? Because that was so cool, Benoit.
Well, the first time we went to Joan's place, we got to experience a group meditation that she offers on a beautiful wooden deck around the fireplace at night where it gets really cold. And explaining that the Andromedon, which is one of the, call it the high dimensional conscious beings who are coming who are been here and who are here on planet Earth to support humanity in its awakening ascension process. And upon request, you can ask them to bring a hospital ship above where you are. Most people will not be able to see it because it vibrates in a different frequency than the one that we perceive. And so she invited us to join in a group meditation to go ascend into the ship, to literally just go into the ships. And so we did. Everyone had a different experience, although we all felt that we were lifting and then going into the ship. And after that, yes, we all came back with different experience. But that was the main activity, and it was very, very powerful. And having been able to experience this, it's expanded the field of possibility and accepting possibilities, and that's we're not alone. Definitely connecting with high dimensional beings definitely confirms that we're not alone, even if we can't see all those, in the 3D reality who are accompanying us in this reality. And then I guess, Rainey, you could talk about your other encounters, like with the Arcturian and in the story in South French Polynesia, on the island when you were swimming. You went to meet the whales and you met some other people.
Oh my gosh, there was so much. I mean, so the first time that I went swimming with the whales was with Joan Ocean in Rurutu, which is like 300 miles south of Tahiti, north of Antarctica, where the humpback whales swim up with their babies, and they stay near the surface. And so I still remember, like, I will never forget the day, like, we all went out on our boat and it's like, okay, there's a humpback whale, they're breaching. And I'm like, yay, okay, we get to jump in and swim with them. So everyone's getting off the boat and I'm like, man, I'm the last one off the boat. I was like way over here, the whale's over there. So I was like, I'm just going to float here and have fun. I'm not going to see the whale. And like the whale, I have no idea, teleports from there to here and is coming straight at me with the baby, and no one is around me. And I'm like, I've got my GoPro, and I'm like, and what was crazy was like when the whale came by and looked at me in the eye, and we had that moment of eye to eye contact. So much was transmitted in that moment. Like there was an entire, beyond libraries of information, like Akashic libraries of everything transmitted, right? Just in that one moment of contact. Then the mama swam by, then the baby whale had eye contact with me. And I got this all on film. And it was like what was being transmitted by the baby whale. I mean, it was a beyond transformative experience. It was one of these moments where it was like I was coded with information by the whales. Like they put it into my water molecules. They were able to communicate on some deeper level in some language of light language or geometry that communicated right into my soul. So yeah, it was by far the most profound moment ever. But what Benoit is mentioning is that the whales and the dolphins and, these extra dimensional beings, such as Arcturians, Lyrians, Palladians, Syrians. I mean, we've got all sorts of groups out there who were responsible for seeding this planet, and who have taken an interest in our development and our evolutionary growth. And I think, as we become more aware of it, we become more in contact with them. We are living then more in a fifth dimensional reality. That's what that's about. It's about us returning to the galaxy. It's us being a part of things, is not being isolated.
Oof.
And at the same
Yes.
time, thank you for sharing. At the same time, what I feel is that we still need this grounding, and to stay grounded in order to stay still and to be able to go to this different dimension, as we said before, because we're still into those physical body, and how to accept and to merge, with this physical body without being in pain. Because a lot of people right now are in pain because they're losing trust into what's going to happen, where all those different federation, galactic, all those different planets and stuff, ETs and others, people are losing trust because things didn't happen the way it was meant to be, or it was because it was this attachment to times also. So losing the attachment to time, which is very hard, trust me. I'm like the queen of attached to time. When? I want to know, when is it? So I've done like massive work on that. And I think if there's a key that I like to share today out of many keys, is to let go of the attachment to time is incredible. Once you do that, you are more able to be into the now, and therefore you can go to those different dimensions. You can navigate. If you're not into the now, if you're attached to time, then, excuse my French, but you're kind of fucked. It's true. It's just, it doesn't work. And every time I get attached to time, I'm suffering. I'm in pain every time. So I don't know why I'm saying that, but yeah, just it's a key.
The time. It's very important to bring up time, because time is really a creation of our mind to find a point of reference to attach itself to, as well as space and time coming together are 3D anchor points, so that we have an idea of where we are when we wake up in the morning. And the work that we're invited to do, I believe, with this ascension process is to reclaim the two other parts of our body that are necessary to fully enjoy the to fully enjoy the ride to the 5D, to higher consciousness, is reclaiming our consciousness to start.
Well, it's reclaiming our sovereignty, right?
Reclaiming our sovereignty, exactly, in the three ways, that call it the Trinity. Reclaiming our soul, reclaiming our emotions, and as the communication tool between our soul, business, and our body. The way it's become clear these days that we're going through is that we are reclaiming our consciousness, which we had surrendered. Oh, can you hear me?
Cannot hear you.
I can hear you.
You can hear me? Okay. Rainey, maybe it's you, Virginie.
I don't hear anything.
Rainey, you said you can hear me?
I can hear him fine. Hey, Virginie. Do you want to hang up and call back?
It's interesting, right when we're talking about reconnecting, regaining our sovereignty.
Okay.
Virginie.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello.
I hear you.
We can hear you.
Virginie, I'm going to come back. Come right back. Okay. I'm telling you, that solves it. This is my 1980s way to solve everything. Turn it on. Hey, it solves so much more than like Geek Squad can ever solve. She's back. She's back.
Hello?
Hi, Virginie.
Can you hear us now? Yes, we can hear you.
No, I cannot hear you.
You can't hear us?
Uh-oh. Virginie.
Benoit, if you can hear me, can you send me the link on Telegram?
The link from...
I'm going to see if I can start it from another place.
Oh, I know what to do. Go on Google Chrome. Use Google Chrome as your browser. Can you hear me? She can't hear me.
I will message her.
Will you tell her that? Tell her to use Google Chrome. It resolves that. I figured that out.
No. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, while standing by during our technical difficulties.
I'm going to stop her and then
Okay.
reconnect through Google Chrome. Okay. So while Virginie's coming back, just kind of thinking about, that beautiful symbolic time that we came together, it was almost like that moment was a coming together, like an apex point for time and not time. It was almost like a point outside of time that created the link for us to move into 5D, really. I mean, the whales and dolphins were like, come on, we're already here. We need you guys to come. And so it was like we were almost being anointed by the whales and dolphins and like welcomed into this higher dimensional reality. So, all right, Virginie, are you on Google Chrome now?
Virginie?
Hello. I'm going to send her a quick message.
It doesn't have Google Chrome.
Oh, no. Well, she can download it. Well, do you want to hop off and we go on to... Hang on, here she is. Yay! Did you get Google Chrome?
No, I don't have Google Chrome.
Okay, just remember it's free. You can download it for free.
Yeah. No, it's a question of space.
Okay. Well, she's back! Yay! That was a nice break.
So yeah.
Should I finish on the? I'll just finish on the reclaiming our sovereignty. That's where the topic that we were on, and how in the society, I mean, the situation that we're going through on the planet today is inviting us to regain our sovereignty. We had over centuries, I guess, released the power, our conscious power, our consciousness to a higher authority, a God that is outside of us, a priest, a pope, a monk, or whatever the name is for all the different religions out there, of the people who represent the God outside of us. And we're now invited to reclaim that part of our consciousness, which is ours to begin with. And then the other part that we've surrendered for the longest time is our emotional power that we've given to an outside authority, a president, the police, the mayor, even the media. It's true, today even the media has become the authority. And so the only thing that we've had that was ours to deal with is our body, which has a consciousness of its own, which can become the ego. And that ego trying to figure out what the hell am I doing in this world? Where am I here? Why am I all alone? Because I'm not connected to my consciousness. I released my consciousness. So I'm kind of lost out at sea by myself. And then because I'm trapped in my thoughts, then I don't feel all the feelings that are the emotions that my consciousness is sending to my body. So today we are being forced in all this forced isolation situation to deal with our emotions that are coming through, knocking at the door every day, and reclaiming that consciousness, which is the tool that allows us to experience life in this human vessel for the human experience.
So speaking about emotions, something came through while you were talking is I see often when people ask me what I do, I say that I'm a emotional healer, coach, spiritual guide, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, but if I deal with my emotion, or if I go and see my emotion, and then if I remove my ego, then I won't have any more emotion. And I mean, it's very mixed up, and it's because we haven't been taught to connect to those emotions at all, ever. I mean, depending on the education or upbringing you had, but most of us into the Occidental and society, we haven't been taught that. So it's just to say that remove your ego, or you remove the thing that do not belong to you, everything that is toxic, every beliefs or patterns is not you. It's just something that you carry. But it doesn't mean you're not going to have emotion, or you're not going to have your heartbeat, or fear, but the fear would be different. It would be some sort of fear that will help you. That would be a protection. For example, if you have a lion in front of you, the fear is important, right? Because how are you going to live the experience? Do I surrender in front of the lion roaring, or do I run? Just like there's always a choice, right? So, but the emotion will give you a hint of how you're going to act, or what choice you're going to have. The emotion is going to manifest something that will give you different options, right? So it doesn't mean you're not going to have any more emotion if you work on your emotions. It just means that you're going to be aware and conscious about the different options you will have after reading and listening and welcoming and surrendering to those emotions. Feel better.
That was beautiful. Well, and I just wanted to say, with the comment on sovereignty and, really, as, just as human beings, when we try to meditate, our practice is, emptying the mind. And when a thought comes in, you let it pass and you keep the mind empty. You don't freak out and stop meditating just because a thought came in. That's the practice. You go off path, you come back, you go off path, you come back. And that's what it's like, I think, with the sovereignty, is that, are we falling into fear and giving our power away? Yeah, sometimes. Then we come back into our sovereignty, and we're like, okay, yes, I remember who I am. I know what I'm here to do. I'm doing it. I'm in my power. And just remembering, as if you're tuning into this show, you are most likely a bridge between 3D and 5D. And that's a big practice. It requires a lot of patience with yourself, and it requires a lot of forgiveness and compassion when you go off path, to come back and not give up and not say, I messed up. Nope, that's the practice. We're still on path. Everything is good.
There's a little help that's coming to me, a reminder that we are experiencing those feelings like fear, or even as simple as a sensation like cold, feeling cold. Then our ego mind will attach to that feeling. And if it comes with a negative emotion for some reason, I guess we've been trained to stay attached to those feelings that bring negative emotion. As simple, and the reason why I use cold is because when there's a temperature change, then our body feels it. If it's cold, then we're going to feel a signal that, the temperature is getting colder. And then our ego mind gets attached to that feeling, and then we just stay cold. And I often tell people, just take a deep breath, a slow, deep breath, inhale slowly, exhale slowly. Find a point of focus if necessary, inhale slowly, exhale slowly. Forget about the cold, and then all of a sudden you're warm. And the same thing with the fear. The fear is an instant feeling, it's more like a reflex that we have. And then so if we stay attached to that fear, then we stay in that state of fear, and we actually amplify what triggers the fear. If we're in front of an animal that will sense that fear, as we amplify the sense, then the animal is going to get even more worried. And then we're going to get even more worried. It's a vicious circle.
It's very interesting. As much as I can do what you're saying on fear, for cold, it just doesn't work. I've got this thing, temperature. I just hate it so much. It's not like just my body. It's just, I guess it's something, and it's not belief, because my son loves cold. Okay, he loves that. So, so I guess it depends on some people prefer. I have some clients who really like cold, and some clients who want warm places. For me, when I'm cold, I'm cold, and when I'm looking at this guy, the Iceman.
Yes.
The new thing, the new Paris. The new thing in Paris is this ice jacuzzi.
Okay, that's what they're doing here. They're taking these ice baths, but you know what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to rip your body and look really cut up. I mean, I'm just like, I would rather have Pudge than get in an ice bath. I just can't do it right now.
I cannot do it.
No, I can't do it.
Okay, when I come
One
to
day,
we'll go hand to hand and we'll go do these ice things and we'll look. Should we jump?
Yeah, we'll be like, we suck.
No, we run away. Let's do it.
But you know, there is.
No,
I want to just.
get.
Even though that's super scary to me, and I'm not ready to face it, I do want to say there's something about, you know, kind of. There's something to be said about facing your fears of, you know, like I can say, like, I've had terrible hot flashes through all of this breast cancer treatment stuff. And so, you know, the hot flashes got worse when I was like trying to cool off and carry fans and all this stuff. Now that I'm going back to hot yoga and for facing like the worst of the worst every day, I don't have hot flashes. Okay. It's like facing my worst fear every day makes it go away.
You know, what's interesting is you speaking about fear of this or cold water. And it's, let's say, instead of saying, okay, I don't like it. Fine. I don't like it. What if it's not like I don't like it, but there's some sort of fear that is such in a denial within me. And it's such in a denial that we cannot even connect to that fear because it's so much hidden, like an iceberg, which is the word to use actually with this ice spa. But so like, you know, it's so hidden into some sort of like hidden drawers and everything. And this fear, for whatever reason we experience at one point, we're just going to use, oh, no, I don't like it so much. But because just we like, no, I don't want to accept that eventually I may be a little scared of getting frozen into this ice spa or something, or to get like wrinkles or whatever it is. What if my body will be what if my body will be different? What if, you know?
Let's ask ourselves, why, Virginie, are you and I so vehemently opposed to the ice bath? Where is that coming from? Were we frozen to death in a past life? Because I feel like I'm more scared of freezing to death than burning to death or anything like that. Like freezing to death would be the worst.
Oof.
Would be the worst.
I've got a
picture.
I've got a
burning
picture.
Is more painful.
Like those, you know, when you walk into when I went to the Himalaya and I jump in the Ganga, I was like,
was it clean? I did a dirty river.
Yeah, at the bottom of the Himalaya, it's pretty clean, so you can see through.
Okay.
So that's okay. But I remember putting one toe, a second toe, one foot, and I was like, no, I cannot. And then I got into some sort of stairs with a rope, and because there's a lot of current, and I was like, I gotta do it. And something called me to do it, but I was, oh my God, that was just so cold. So cold. So I went in and out 3 times because for a reason I've been called to do it 3 times. And it's these things like there's something with the feet, frozen feet, you know. It's
yeah.
I see. I have this picture of my feet into some kind of frozen stuff.
The fear that we're talking about, Phil, it's, you know, we are the 3 of us who are, I guess, life coaches, the common term. And so we are dealing with people their fears, which can manifest in many ways. Some people will not look at it as fear, and we can just still call it, you know, a general pattern of fear that comes from whatever experience that's put us into a state of needing to protect ourselves. And what's coming more and more clearly to me as the more I talk to people, especially these days, is that those fears get us stuck into negative beliefs that prevent us from taking action. and it's the way it's been manifesting the most in the world. And so it can be whether it's I'm not good enough, I'm not worth it, or I don't know what to do, I'm going to be judged. Maybe I'm afraid I'm going to hurt someone, I'm going to hurt myself. Did you want to say something, Virginie?
Yeah.
Feel like something's coming through.
Very much related to fear. It's anger, how much people would suppress their anger and will refuse to connect to it. And I can see that in different coaching sessions that I have, but also into the yin yoga workshop that are, my yin yoga workshop are kind of a mixture between spiritual guidance, emotional guidance, and release, all those kind of things. So, and the anger, I see it more and more, which is in relation to what you were saying, Benoit, to judgment. As even if we go even further, but we're going to have like a session, I think a live session with Rainey on Enneagram. And Benoit, as you're 9, you may understand, is the anger towards ourselves that some personality type will actually, put under lots of gravel so they don't sit. They don't want to connect with that anger. That needs to be released at one point. It's like a hot pot, the steam has to go out.
Yes, especially because that anger is about when we're angry at ourselves. Primarily.
Yeah, and it's very much in relation to fear, because we are afraid that if we get angry, we can be afraid of our own reaction. We can be afraid of the other's reaction. We can be afraid of what can happen, So it's very much, that's what I'm connecting with right now. It's just like the connection between fear and anger, and how.
Well, and what is that anger? That anger is that we're forgetting. I think it's all related to forgetting, because what is fear? It's not knowing. It's not having all the information. It's where something's hidden. Fear is not being empowered. It's not remembering that we are empowered, sovereign beings, right? So it's that anger, I feel, is connected to not remembering. It's connected to like, why do we have to forget everything? It's so annoying to be down here in bodies and have to forget everything. And the answer is, I think, because we just instantly come out of body when we remember.
And that's where the water memory is coming back. The circle. The water memory, because, yeah, exactly. We forget the essential of the trust and the unconditional love memory that we all forgot from birth. But it's within our body of 80% water. It's definitely embodied. It's just a matter of
water remembers.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying that we're 80% of water. So we have that within our body. Just the matter of
ego
is the connection, the full connection of this love and trust and love that will give freedom to all.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's also what's going to help us for each of us that are on the same path. There's no one that is better than the other. We all here for a reason, and we all have our purpose on earth, and we all helping each other at one point. Even someone that we cross in the street might, help us in some way. A bird singing or, but what I wanted to say is this is the trust will help us to navigate and to be at peace with what's going on right now in the world. Because without trust, you automatically get into fear, into anger, into even rage for some people, into drastic situations. So the trust is definitely something that every single person should focus on. And Benoit and Rainey, you've been seeing the difference. Benoit, I'm seeing the difference when I connected with my trusting. The difference within me was like just massive. And I'm still processing, to embody more trust. But the difference is huge.
Well, There's multi levels of trust. It's like trusting that, remember, okay, your soul, your higher self on a bigger level knows the full plan, and it's totally clear, and it's a great plan, even though
That's the trust I'm talking about.
That's the trust. And then it's like, okay, so whatever my intuition is telling me is aligned with that bigger plan. And I'm just always going to trust that my higher self would never have gotten me into something that was like a bad idea.
But right? Yeah, but the problem is with that, it's even though you feel it deep within your body and your intuition and everything, and you know it is that trust that you're connecting, and you know that you embody that trust. But let's say if you eat low frequency food, if you drink or smoke, or if you don't connect with nature, you don't connect with water, if you don't drink enough, if you etc., then you entire frequency is going to get lower and lower and lower. And that's where, if you trust it here, you're going to be like that. And then it's Rainey, you were saying that at the beginning, how to always come back to that verticality so you can navigate.
Yeah, I think all of these are, techniques to raise our frequency, and that is also increasing trust in ourselves. Because every time we raise our frequency, we're closer to remembering. And when we remember, everything makes sense because our soul knows everything, So it's going back to that. It's like, what ways can we, incorporate into our lives to help raise our vibration on a minute by minute basis? And I would say, my contribution on World Water Day is just to remind everyone to bless their water and to be conscious about the water that you put in your body, and be conscious about the water already in your body. I mean, I've already spent an hour singing out loud this morning. I mean, that's part of my routine every day because I know what that does to the water molecules in my body. I remember that's the one thing I learned from Dr. Emoto very clearly. Water dances. Your water molecules dance when you sing. And like, don't you want all your water molecules in your body dancing and creating sacred geometric shapes? Like, that's profound.
Yeah. The ultimate song. It's something that I discovered with Aline about the HU, HU, which is the sound of life. And just singing HU connects us, activates us, cleanses us, all at the same time. And singing HU, HU, U in French, is what.
It's amazing what those kind of chants mantras can do. It's really profound. There's one that I was just listening to, like Ong Song Wahe Guru. Have you heard that?
Yeah, of course.
Wahe Guru. Man, I just listen to that over and over, and I get that like imprinted in my cells, and I'm saying it over and over. Like I bet they probably got some like 528 hertz hue that I could put on right now, right?
That's a good sure. There's another place where I like to be is when I'm meditating or singing, is to visualize myself in the heart of the lotus flower, and which the mantra is Om Mani Padme Om, and when I'm in the lotus, in the heart of the lotus, then I operate on flower time, when all of a sudden I am always in the right place at the right time.
It is, but no, it's funny because the conversation of today is, this is all the thing that I've been doing on my workshop this weekend for the spring work with the lotus, and to have it to focus on the lotus has something very particular as a flower. It's got like this flower can have the different color of the different chakras petal. So you can basically, when you concentrate with the lotus flower and you connect with it, you can connect to either all the chakras at the same time, or each of the chakras depending on the color of the lotus that you're going to have. And it's a flower that is very interesting because it comes from the dirt, from the dark water, the dusty water, the movement water, the storm and those kind of things, and it flowers like so beautifully, and it blossoms, and every night it's closing and reopening every morning. So it's a very interesting flower to connect with. A very, very powerful flower to connect with.
So it's interesting that you're saying this because, you know, I got trained a couple weekends ago on the crystal bowls, and I just got a new one. I'm going to show it to you. Hang on.
Another one.
But you showed it to us last time, babe.
Is it the Larimar or is it another one?
Is that the one? Was that the one that you showed us last week?
No.
That's another one. That's a small one.
It's smaller.
That's a small one.
Guess what it is. Guess what it's made of. Mini, miny, moldavite. It's moldavite. And moldavite, like Crystal Tones made this, and it's a 6-inch A +5.
Okay.
Anyway, it's moldavite. But when I was playing this bowl at the training, I had this whole visualization or whatever come to me that we were literally all sitting in these huge lotus flowers. Like those were actually vehicles that we moved in. Do you know what I mean? They were our transportation devices. These lotus flowers. They were more than just a simple flower. You know what I mean? So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool.
It's a lot to me what came up during the class. The first time ever I felt like channeling my class. So
nice.
And I had one workshop yesterday with 5 people, and today it was a private class with 2 people, and I felt like channeling for the people. That was very interesting into this lotus, and also the connection with the yin and the yang, because it was like the dark water and the light afterwards, and I never connected to that flower the way that I connected yesterday and today with it.
Do you want to channel for us now?
See what's coming through. I mean, I feel like I've been channeling quite a lot already.
Why not?
We're in quantum conversation.
We are. Let's go.
I feel like I'm channeling nonstop, or I feel like it's not. I mean, we had a discussion yesterday or the day before with my daughter. She was like, "Mom, you have to trust yourself more. And why do you say you channel? This is you. Your guidance is you. You higher consciousness. Whatever you say, it's you. So why do you always say, they're speaking through you? They're speaking through me. They're speaking. Mom, this is you. But it's I feel it's. This is some sort of.
To put your drink on?
No, I need to order some. I need to get some. But I feel it's almost like a bit of being obnoxious if I say it's me saying that, me, Virginie, because I feel like my body is just something that I borrow. So
yeah, it sounds weird to me when I feel.
Okay, she's very mature, but she's
a star child though.
And she's
a star child. They're not going to have. They don't have the whole, they're not going to need a channel. They have the direct connection, but we had to pioneer it. We had to break through. So.
Oh, that's the reason why. Because I feel like she's.
I don't think there's. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, what's coming? It's really about grounding, and I see trees and people like tree hugging, more into connecting to Gaia. There's probably a message to Gaia coming up. From Gaia coming up. It's people gathering and holding a hand around trees. So this is what now. And it's Benoit, you can probably help me on the name. How do you say un chêne in English?
Oak.
Yeah, it's like people holding hand, around the oak and dancing and chanting. And it's by a lake. There's very powerful meditation going on right now all over the world to help
the water
raise frequencies of every earthlings, every single cells on earth. And you don't need to connect especially with other people to connect to those meditation. It's just a matter of connecting to the frequency of the meditation. So if you visualize the frequency, you can connect with all meditation at the same time, actually, some sort of quantum jumping. It doesn't need to be for a long time. A lot of people believe that you need to meditate for a long time in order to be a good spiritual, I put into bracket, a good spiritual being. This is, again, an illusion. It's just a matter of realigning with your heart and your soul and your trust, and then you can do it within a second, a bit like, they are funny, a bit like Mary Poppins, the way that she clean everything. It's very much like how we can align with different frequency of meditation on healing power and healing light, crystalline light, divine light that will help remove and create space in every single earthlings if they wish to. And we can also, as it's something that I channeled like a month ago, to do a daily meditation of just like 2 minutes to not only receive that light for healing, but also to send it through our solar plexus chakra, to send it to everybody around us and on the entire globes. If they wish to receive healing light, that would create space to allow highest level guest and gift to enter whenever it's the time to do so. But first, the healing is transmuting and clearing space. So it's clearing. There's a lot of attachment, like you were saying, Benoit, before, and they're revealing that right now. There's a lot of attachment that needs to be released. Attachment, even attachment to belief. So it's not only, that's very interesting. It's not only just the belief itself, it's attachment to beliefs. And releasing those attachment to beliefs will help people towards trust. And then it will flow. It's kind of, yeah. So, and it's actually easier than it sounds, or the other way around.
Well, it's like
easier because it's a choice. It's a choice we can make anytime.
Well,
and it's attachment to the 3D structures that are crumbling.
For certain people, it's not a choice anymore. That's what they're saying. So, for example, for the volunteers, it's not a choice anymore. They have to follow the path, because by their presence, they're going to initiate the healing
They'll
of
be deeply unsatisfied.
So it's not for certain people, and mainly for the volunteers, it's not it's not a choice anymore.
An option.
It's the choice on how they want at a mundane level, how they want to live the experience, but at the end they don't have a choice. So they might have a choice for like 5 minutes, but at the end they don't have a choice.
Their soul's already made the choice.
Yeah,
the choice was made long ago.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we're just want to, like, for anybody who's tuning in right now, like if you're feeling that sort of like inconsistency, that pain inside, like you're supposed to be doing something that you're not doing in your life, that's what we're talking about right now, is fulfilling your soul mission and living what you came here to do. I mean, that's what Virginie is channeling right now.
I don't remember what I just said, so.
It's all right. We heard you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
It's recorded. Thank you.
Yes. And live.
There's something else coming up right now. It says also that it's we've been kind of resting for the last couple of weeks and asking our body to rest whenever needed, and we are asked to deal with boring stuff, actually. So clean. What they're asking is we need to remove, like, really also in a house, we need to try to remove the things that no longer serves us, i.e. old paperwork, i.e. clothes that we may give to charity, or even toys, or and also to paperwork that we've been delaying,
taxes,
all those things. So it's really like, if you feel weak, rest, listen to your body. But if you feel like, okay, you have to work for 10 hours nonstop and do your paperwork, just do it. Just, even though if you're into that field, and even though you have your partner or someone that tells you, oh, come for dinner, blah blah blah, just know, if you feel like continuing doing this, just do it. Listen to your body and listen to what you have to do, because it's really like, do you use that word in English, decluster? Is that a word? Decluster?
Uncluster.
I probably, yeah.
It's
I don't think it's a common word.
I don't know what it means exactly, but it feels like it's decluster is removing that things that do not belong there.
Oh, I know what it is. Declutter.
Declutter, yes.
Declutter.
Can you tune in, please? That's the right word.
I was like, something off with that. Yeah, it's clutter, not cluster. That's right. Okay.
It's really, that's the word. If there's one word for this week and the following week, is to do so. Declutter.
I've definitely been sensing, even for myself, through the work that I do with people and that we're doing together, and that I'm doing for myself, is going through major periods of releasing what doesn't serve us anymore, which is good to do this on a regular basis, but more now than ever, so that we can embrace all this new world of possibilities that comes with regaining our sovereignty. And to regain that sovereignty, we just have to let go of what has kept us from being sovereign beings. And this is programming that started a long time ago. So it's not always, I agree that it can be painful even sometimes to let go of beliefs that have been, we've been anchoring our life on those beliefs, and letting them go, that means recreating a new foundation with new beliefs as well.
And one way, what I'm hearing also is one way to declutter and work on you, to let go, it's to really bring some awareness to your attachments, so you can detach. So you can let go.
Yes.
So instead of working, because people is, oh, let go. But it's quite hard to do so. But if you bring some awareness to what you are attached to, then it's easier to let go. If you see what's in your cupboard that you don't want, that you are attached to, you can see that, and it's like, okay, do I need it? Or do is it mine? Is it me? Is it, what do I do with it?
Well, I mean, I have to say, talking about shedding, I'm really enjoying the feeling of shedding the weight of 2020. I mean, I can't be the only person who put on a little weight in 2020. And it just feels so good to start like watching it come off, because it's also like the burden and the fear and the sluggishness and everything that was 2020 is just like, it's so nice to shed that and just allow 2021 to just be this like place of freedom, place of connection, place of really moving into our, you know, higher selves and our higher paths.
Yes. Oof. I'm feeling that this is beautiful words that bring us to a conclusion for today's session. We're having we're sharing some important stuff here.
Yeah, I mean, we've been going for a little over an hour, so it's probably a great time to just call it a day. Did you want to say anything in closing, Virginie?
Well, thank you very much, Rainey, for hosting this session. That's really cool to be part of it and to work together. And it's really amazing. I'm so grateful for the light you guys bring into my life, and the work we're doing together and with the others. So that's beautiful. So thank you very much.
I'm very grateful as well, and I'm proud of us for going live for our first quantum conversation live. We did it.
I know.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't get attached to time. You know, that we were thinking about that 12 months ago.
Well, and how perfect that our launch, our first live was on World Water Day. So significant,
Perfect.
You know?
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. So yeah, let's just end this with love and gratitude. We know those are two of the highest vibratory words that water responds to. So we'll just send out love and gratitude from our hearts to you. And thank you so much for tuning in. It's been such a pleasure. We will be back very soon. Mwah. Hugs to everyone.
Thank you.